Games are turning just way too much into shit nowadays. And whether or not that's the games themselves is up to you to decide. But I mostly think that it's the companies. The companies have huge issues, and I'm going to talk about most of them today. So the first game that I actually just wanted to discuss was Sea of Thieves. There was huge hype around this game. I was even one that fell for this hype. I thought this was going to be the game that I was going to spend most of my time on. I don't remember exactly when it came out. I think it was maybe after summer of last year, now that it's 2019. Maybe not, maybe it was before summer. Anyways, not really the point. That game came out and I was super hyped for that. I bought it right when it came out, I got the pack, and there was just so many things wrong with it. It could have been such a good game. It had huge potential, but it really did not live up to the hype that I wanted it to and many other people wanted it to. Sea of Thieves did multiple things right, but it also did a lot of things wrong, and I would say mostly they did things wrong with that game. There was really a ton of potential, but they didn't add what everyone was hoping they would. Sea of Thieves, if you don't know what it is, it's just an online, you can play with your friends and roam around as a pirate and go and get treasures. Now, I don't disagree that the treasure quests were actually kind of good. I think they were quite good and they were quite engaging, but it got really repetitive for almost no gain. You can make that game fun. I've seen, I guess, Summit play and stuff like that, and he actually makes the game look fun to him. He goes and he makes his own journey and adventures and goes on other people's ships and actually just fucks with them. And I could see how that would be fun, but it could also have been a lot more fun for just the casual player. And I'm not one that actually shows out for the casual players because I really don't give a fuck about the casual player. Because what I'm going to say is not going to feed into the casual player. What I think Sea of Thieves should have done to actually engage an audience, what they had at the start of the game, right when the game came out, I'm not sure about right now. What they had was you would turn in your chests that you got from quests or skulls or whatever you got, and you would turn those in for doubloons, coins, whatever it was, and you would be able to turn those in for skins. And that's it. They weren't even that great of skins. There was no diamond camo. There was a shitty gold one for maybe something that would take you 50 playing hours to even get, maybe more than that, because it was so much of a grind for something that you didn't get much of. I think the combat in that game was really cool. I don't think they fucked up on any of the gameplay wise. I think it was very well done, but they could have added things that could have been way more well done. The game didn't succeed because there was no progression in the game. You really had no goal to look forward to. People want something to get so they can brag to their friends about or brag to people online and talk shit to them about. There's nothing to talk shit about when all you have is a skin. Yeah, you could say, oh yeah, I worked 50 hours for the skin that doesn't give me any damage or health bonuses, and it doesn't fuck you up any more than you can fuck me up, which I think people want. People want those bragging rights to rub their balls all over people's faces. And I think that's really what it was missing. If there was a new ship or something that you could get for 100,000, let's say, okay, it takes however many hours, 200 hours to get this ship, I would have grinded that out. I would have grinded out to get this badass ship that would go and it's a mean ass ship and it would fuck everyone else up. But then, it's not going to make the other players quit. What I would do if I got fucked by that big ship, that would make me want to grind for that even more so. So I would work for that. I would work every single day, get those doubloons, get those chests, turn them in, do all these quests that I can just so I can get this ship. Or have it like little upgrades. You can upgrade one of your cannons. Not all of the cannons, but just one at a time, temporary. You can upgrade the whole of the ship. You could upgrade the crow's nest, more vision. You could upgrade the speed of your ship. You can get a bigger ship that does more damage, but it is a lot slower. A smaller ship that's way faster, but it does it's way faster, but it does way less damage. There are things that you could have changed. The weapons, that can do more damage, and they have scopes and just anything that you could have added to this game that really wouldn't have taken that long for them to put a little bit time into that, release the game a little bit later, and then you would have had way more customer satisfaction with the game, and I think it could be still being played today, but they just didn't really do that. And I don't know if that's the fault of the company or just their orders. I'm not blaming it on any of the people that actually made the game, but I think it was a poor design quality and just a poor outlook for how their finished game is going to be. And I don't know, I'm not saying that I know how it is today. It could be different, but I'm pretty sure it's basically the same as it was. So next two games I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about these as a package deal because they've both fucked up in a royally bad way, and they really haven't done anything to fix it. They've actually just dug their grave even more that they could have gotten out of pretty easily. So those two games, if you already don't know what I'm talking about, pretty sure you do, is Battlefield 1, I believe it is. I don't even know how it goes at Battlefield 1. I swear we were just at 4 and then we went to 5, I think, and then we went back to 1 or 2. I don't fucking know. I don't know what their process is, but anyways, that's not the point. Battlefield 1. Okay, first of all, the reason why that game did not succeed, they did shitty advertising for that game. I swear I asked all of my friends, anyone that I talked to, and I was like, did you know Battlefield was out? That shit was released 1 week ago. And everyone's like, what? A new Battlefield? Haven't even heard anything about it. There was almost zero commercials. I don't see anything that was really representing it anywhere, and I haven't heard any talk about it. And it just releases, and little unbeknownst to me that it's actually dog shit. There is no content for it that everyone wants. A lot of the things aren't even available yet, and you think people are gonna wait and just buy the game later? No, they're gonna want to buy it, see that there's no content, refund it, and never pick up that game again once that content comes out. I just think that EA as a company has gone down. I think this mostly isn't Battlefield's fault. It's just EA and DICE. They just have huge problems. Like also with the Battlefront series, which I think they added loot boxes to Battlefield also, which I don't understand what companies don't understand, or I don't understand what companies don't see that loot boxes don't work. They don't. People hate them. Which actually, okay, that's not true. People don't hate them if it's just for cosmetics. People would love to get a loot box like Overwatch where they can just get a little skin or something. That's fine. People would pay for that. People would pay to gamble for that. People will not pay to get better gear at all. People don't want that. Okay, the minority of people will pay for that, and they'll shit on everyone else because they put more money into it. Whoever's got the fatter wallet does better in games. Which that's not how it should be. Whoever puts the most time in should be the best at that game. They should be able to shit on everyone else so everyone plays your game more and puts more time into it so they can be better. I don't know if nowadays they just think everyone's a bunch of pussy asses and won't do anything, and automatically when they get fucking destroyed by someone that has more hours into it than them, that they're just gonna quit. I don't know what's happening to games. Like back in the day when you wanted to get something that was really strong and you saw someone that had that, then you'd be like, wow, that's badass. That dude worked for maybe days or months just to get that item, and he's royally, and he deserves to be shitting on me right now, and I'm gonna get better, so either that I get that piece of gear, if I don't get that piece of gear, I'll beat him anyways with it. And, you know, these people that are at the top that have those fat wallets that are buying these things aren't even good with what they're doing, so people are still shitting on them, but it's like, really? I just don't see the point in loot boxes unless it's for cosmetic things. Then that's okay with me because that's a way to make some money, but I don't like it with the you get a power up or whatever, you get a boost in your damage for paying money. That's just something that is very dirty and it's treating the customers like crap. Fallout 76 was in that same exact package with Battlefield 1 because I don't even know what Bethesda was thinking with this game. It was way overhyped in the first place, and their plan for this game was just complete shit. They didn't even know what they were thinking with this. I loved Bethesda as a company, not so much anymore after this Fallout 76 whole thing that just happened, this whole debacle with, in the first place, this game should have been pre-alpha by the time they released it. That should have been their pre-alpha state. But not even just that, it's on their shit engine from Skyrim and Fallout 4, and it still has the same glitches that was in Fallout 4 all that time ago that they still haven't fixed. And that's how you tell, you can see in the files that some of them are from Fallout 4. So it's just a reskin of Fallout 4 made to go online. And they didn't even do a good job of it. Maybe if they did a good job of porting that, then go ahead, but why not just add a DLC for Fallout 4 and make it online, and maybe put all your time into that instead of trying to make like a whole new bullshit game. And there's just things about it that aren't even thought through, like the nuke system with the codes are the exact same. You can go on Reddit and get the nuke code and just go up to a nuke and just nuke someone. You don't need to get a whole new code. I don't know if they fixed this, by the way. This is just from what I've heard. Maybe they could have fixed these things, but still, it's not even going to make up for the fact that this is just not a finished game. This is not AAA quality. This is not what people expect from Bethesda. This is not something that people expect from EA, let alone... Okay, I expect it from EA because EA is a shit company, but people don't want EA to be releasing these type of games. Now, all this shit with Battlefield and Fallout, I don't know about Fallout as much, but Battlefield, EA, geez, keep politics out of gaming. Gamers don't fucking care. They don't care about your politics. We don't want any gender equal bullshit. If we want the history of whatever time period that game is made in, don't make your own history and say it's part of that history when it's not. There were some clear things that were changed in Battlefield that were just not accurate to that time period. And if you want to say that's your own history, your own kind of fictional reality that you made up, you can, but they didn't say that, and they doubled down and called all their customers idiots. And that's really not going to help your sales, as you can tell with Battlefield and Fallout 76 already going to almost half the price by the time of their release. Call of Duty has had some ups and downs. I would say the last Call of Duty that I actually enjoyed would be Battlefield 2, but Battlefield 1, Modern Warfare 2 were great games. World at War, any of those games were great, but I think really what started to ruin Call of Duty franchise overall was probably the whole futuristic aspect, which a lot of people do agree with, but some people don't agree with that, and that's fine. But then this new Call of Duty and the new Black Ops, they tried way too hard to be Fortnite, and I thought a lot of people would see that as cringy, which I definitely did, and I'm not gonna lie, the zombies I thought was pretty great. There was no more of that bullshit where you don't even know what to do at the start. There's so many things you could do. In the Black Ops 3, I got into that and I turned into a fucking squid and I had no idea what was going on and I quit. There is so many things that you would have to figure out in Black Ops 3 to even get through to the part of the game that you want to get to. And it just wasn't fun. It didn't feel like zombies. It felt weird. It just wasn't the same. Black Ops 2 had some great zombies. I thought that it was pretty simple. You would pick up the parts on transit, you would make a fan that would open the door, and just things that they didn't really make sense, but they made sense in that part of the game. You could tell what you had to do. It was simple. It wasn't no thing where you gotta jump on top of a building, hit this with your electric squid hand, and then jump down, and then in that time period of you being a squid, you also hit this other electric box, and it was just so much confusing bullshit that no one wanted to play. I'm sure some people played it. Of course, everyone has their things that they like, but in my opinion, I did not like that. It wasn't engaging to me, and I didn't see many of my friends also playing that after maybe a month of it being out. Which is the same thing for most of the Call of Duties that are coming out nowadays. You rarely see them being played a month after they've been out. They just get old and stale. They haven't really added much to them. With a new one, they added that Battle Royale, but that wasn't it wasn't done that well. I think it could have been better, and I think this whole Battle Royale genre is really dying right now. It's not going anywhere. And the last game that probably will still be up for a while is Fortnite. Sad to say, but they're doing something right, and You should applaud them for what they're doing. I think Epic Games is actually a great company right now, and they're doing the right thing with Fortnite. They're updating it constantly. It's a free game. They're not having anything that adds power to their guns or anything. You can't buy your way to victory. You have to actually work for it. You have to get skilled in that game, and that really pushes people. That shows it kind of proves some of my points, that if you just let people work for something though, and they're trying to get more skilled, then they will do it. They will work for that to get better, and they don't want to pay for their way to the top. Some people do. Some people just want to shit on people just by paying, and that's fine, but that's just going to be the minority, and I don't think the person with the fatter wallet should win the games. Fortnite also kind of disproves my point with someone wants progression. They want those guns to give them more power if they start working for it, and they can actually buy it with money. But then that's just not the type of game Fortnite is. It's like more so a Black Ops game. You can't really buy new guns. You can level up and get new guns, but okay, that doesn't really add to this. Now, another game that I think really went downhill ever since about the third expansion of it would be World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is dead. It's done for right now, and it's in desperate need. Activision has completely screwed every single chance they've had. They've dug their hole about 16 feet deep, and they're not getting out unless they have some really big... They gotta pull some strings, man. They gotta fucking use that rappel real quick and get out of that cave. There's some deep things they have to do. I don't think the release of vanilla is going to save them. I think that'll definitely help, but there's just so many things they have done wrong. They've also been one of those companies that has just dug themselves a deeper hole, especially at this BlizzCon announcing a mobile Diablo. Really? Mobile? That's fine if you want to release a mobile Diablo, but don't make that the main game. At least make it like a side, like, okay, we're also releasing mobile Diablo, but we also have Diablo 4 coming out, guys, for the PC players. What we were based on, where all of our money came from, was PC players, but no, they decided to just stick up a middle finger to those people and say, no, don't you have phones? You all have phones, right? So play our mobile game, because we know you would rather play on your fucking shitty iPhone or your shitty Samsung instead of playing on a keyboard. There was just a huge miscommunication there. They really are not in touch with their fans at all, and they think they're in touch with their fans with this whole classic thing, but they literally had to be forced to even make that, and I'm pretty sure they still don't even want to make that. I'm pretty sure J. Allen Brack, the CEO right now, does not want to make that. He hates that shit. He said, you think you do want that, but you really don't. And he was wrong about that, and he was definitely proven wrong with the over 300,000 people that signed just a petition, and it was directly given to them all in papers of every single signature. And I'm pretty sure that kind of woke them up a little bit. But they still don't understand what they're doing. They're trying to change up vanilla and make it different, which they should really just follow the old school RuneScape thing. What they did, they should just go and keep it how it was. Keep everything exactly how it was, no matter how buggy, no matter how messed up. Everything possible, keep it the exact same, because that's what people want. People want that nostalgia, or not so much as nostalgia. For me, it's just loving that game, loving that old game, and loving the old Blizzard values. I've been in love with Blizzard as a company for so long, and I've planned on working for them for almost all my life since TBC came out. I've been wanting to work for them ever since. They are something that made me want to make my own games, and I've been wanting to do that since I was probably 6. And they really have gone down as a company, and it's sad. Their stocks are down to like 40 right now from 80. They're half at what they were at before. They had one good thing right now, which is Overwatch. I think they did they've done good with that. They haven't done much to screw that up, but I think those type of games are just dying in themselves. StarCraft, they haven't really added much to that. They've just kind of left that behind. Here's the Storm, which is a bad idea overall. I don't really think MOBAs are... There's not many MOBAs that's gonna beat League, and League of Legends is kind of not even doing that great for itself. I think MOBAs are kind of a dying genre in itself. Some of these things, companies like to stick to what works. And then eventually when that thing starts to not work, they blame it on the consumers. And they don't change up, they don't invent anything, they don't reinvent themselves. They need to start thinking of stuff that's new. They're scared to try anything because they're scared with their investors. They wanna help their investors are forcing them to just release stuff as quickly as possible, and they're not polishing their games, they're not thinking it through, they're just doing the same exact thing as they did that worked last time because they don't have the time to think of anything new. So while they're just releasing the new game, they've already been working on the game that's going to come out next. So it's just a constant stream of bullshit that no one wants to play. And if they made something new, maybe they would do good for once. As I said, Epic Games, great example. They made something new, something no one really thought of. Well, people thought of it, but they did their own rendition on it. PUBG had their own version of it. There has been Battle Royale games. First Battle Royale game was fucking Minecraft Hunger Games. I played that, and that was great. It was basically the same thing. So it wasn't a new idea, but they added their own little twist to it. And I think that's really what companies should start doing. And the games for like the MMO games, Sea of Thieves type games, they need to add some sort of progression. People are not going to play your game just to grind the same bullshit for nothing. No reward. People like to look for that little shiny coin in their eye, that little glisten, the golden ticket. They want to go towards that. They don't want to just keep staying in that same little shitty situation. The reason we play games is to not think about our fucking lives at the moment and go and fucking work for something in a virtual life that we actually put more work into than our actual lives. Now, there's just a lot of things that companies just aren't in touch with their consumers at all. And, something really needs to change. And I hope 2019 will bring that. But I'm not sure about that. Companies are just trying to make a quick buck everywhere that they see, and they're not actually looking out for the customer. And, it really sucks to say that, but we can hope for the best in 2019. I'm looking forward to a couple of games, and especially vanilla. I'm hoping they do well with that. And we can hope for the best, but I'm hoping 2019 might be our year, but most likely not. I don't think companies are gonna realize this soon. They haven't realized yet, and they're digging their heels in as much as they can. And I hope they actually start putting in work for just the love of the games that they're making. If you do that, if you just love the game you're making and you want to get it out to people, then that's what people will love. And yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments down below. Disagree with me, and I will respond. And yeah, that's about it. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.